Want to make your iOS app stand out? Adding VoiceOver accessibility with dynamic text is the secret to reaching a wider audience, and I will show you how.
Please follow the on-screen instructions. Welcome to your accessible app.
So this is the application we will create. It enables audio to be included for accessibility, and also you can enlarge the font sizes of the text by going to the system settings. Go to systems. And then we select accessibility, click it, display and text size. To make the font size larger, just click on large text. And then we can increase or decrease the font text. I'll increase it to a bigger size. And then go back to the application. Or I'll just rerun the application, it's probably quicker.
Please follow the on-screen instructions. Welcome to your accessible app.
As you can see, the font sizes has been increased. If I type in the text fields, you hear the audio description.
Username field updated.
Password
field updated.
User types.
User type selected. Admin. User type selected. Guest. User type selected. User.
And then if I click on the button.
Option selected.
And then we can also save the audio feedback settings via app storage if I click on the switch. So this is the application we will create in this tutorial. Within your content view, import AV Foundation. The purpose of AV Foundation is to enable audio within your application. On lines 12, or after lines 11, enter the following: app state private bar is selected equals false. App storage is audio enabled. Private bar is audio enabled equals true. So the purpose of app storage is to store the user settings if they want audio to be enabled or not for the accessibility settings. At state private bar username. At state private bar password. At state private bar selected user type. The default will be user. At state private bar username spoken was false. at state private var password spoken equals false. Private let user types, which contains an array of different types of users, is user, admin, guest. Private let speech synthesizer equals AV speech synthesizer. The next thing we need to do is on lines 24 is to delete the text element and add the following: navigation, view, scroll view. The purpose of the scroll view is to ensure that the contents is scrollable. For example, when we increase the size of the fonts using accessibility settings. B-stack, alignment, dot leading, spacing 20. We add a text element called user screen, the font type, title, dot line limit is nil, dot padding, dot bottom 10, dot accessibility add traits is header. So on lines or from lines 30, what we're doing, we set the font to the system title style, which adjusts with the dynamic type settings. And then we allow the text to be wrapped and make as many lines as necessary without trunking or truncation. That's on lines 31. And then on lines 32, we add padding below the text to create a space between the text and the next element. On line 33, we mark the text as a header for accessibility purposes, which can help with screen readers to identify important elements within the UI. And then the next thing we need to do is to call dot on appear. Dot on appear. If is audio enabled, then we need to create a method called speak text. So the method speak text should be added here. I'll just create a comment. Add speak text method. So we add that later. Then the next thing we need to do is to add a toggle element, UI element. $ is audio enabled. Text enable audio. So this will give the user the option to enable audio feedback or not. Font dot heading or headline. Line limits is nil. Thick size. Horizontal false. Vertical is true. Padding dot vertical 10 dot accessibility label which will be enable or disable audio feedback. Dot accessibility hint. Turn audio feedback on or off. The next thing we need to do is add a text field element. Text field, enter username. Text $username. Add some padding. Background, which will be system gray 6. And then we add corner radius of 8. Now line 53 is incorrect. We need to add color dot system gray 6. I just compile it. Just compiling at the moment. In the next part of the tutorial, we will continue to implement the content view. We will continue to add our GUI elements to the content view. Enter the following: dot font body, dot accessibility label, username field, and the purpose of adding .accessibility label is to enable the label to be read by screen readers and to be identified by screen readers also. Accessibility hint, enter your name, and that adds a accessibility hint to the screen reader to provide guidance to the user to enter their name. On change, username, new value in, so what this will do, anytime the username changes, then the speak text method will be called. Audio enabled and not username spoken. Speak text. Username field updated. Username spoken equals true. On tap gesture, username spoken equals false. So now the method that we need to create is the speak text function that enables the audio to be spoken. We can create that after line 74. Type in private func speak text string. The string parameter is the word that we want to be spoken. Is audio enabled? If audio isn't enabled, then we just exit the function. If it is enabled on the device, then we continue to execute these lines. Current language equals local preference languages dot first So it gets the first language within the array. So if it's GB, the default is GB, but if the default isn't GB, then it just returns. So what it does, it gets the first language in the array. If you can't get the first language in the array, then it makes the default GB. Like the English language. Let utterance equals AV speech utterance string text utterance dot voice equals AV speech AV speech synthesized voice and then for the voice the language we want to be the accent that we want is English, so the language is English. Utterance dot rates equals 0.5. And utterance is the rate of the speech that's being spoken. Speech synthesizer dot speak utterance. And now we can go back to line 37 that we created in the previous tutorial. And then within that line we can call the method we just created. Speak text. Welcome to your accessible app. The next thing we need to do is to add our secured fields for our password. Add that after line 70. Secure fields. Enter password. Add some padding, background, color, system gray 6. Corner radius 8. Font, body, accessibility label, password fields, accessibility hint, enter your password, and then we need to create the onChange method that we created previously. So I'll just copy the one that we've done previously on line 60, between line 60 and line 70. And place it after line 78. Instead of using username, it should be password. And this should be password spoken. Password spoken is true. Password spoken is false. Password field updated. In the next tutorial, we will complete the content view GUI. Add the picker to enable the user to select the different types of user types. And this will be the user type selected by the user within the selected user type variable. And then we loop through each of the user types, give each of the user type an ID, and then we display the user type within the picker. The next thing we need to do is, after line 97, and it should be type on line 93, and not text. So after lines 97, we need to add the picker style, segmented picker style, add a bit of spacing, a bit of padding, vertical 10, and then add accessibility label. Accessibility hint. And then we need to add on change. If it's audio enabled, then we call the speak text method. The next thing we need to do is to add our button. Add our button after line 106. Button, action is selected. Toggle let message equals is selected. Option selected. Else, if it's not selected, option deselected. UI accessibility post notification dot announcement message. And the purpose of line 111 is to send a notification message to VoiceOver. The next thing we need to do is to call the speak text function again. If is audio enabled, speak text. And then we need to create the caption for our button. Text is selected. Deselect option else select option. So one of these will be the captions that are displayed on the bottom. Dot font, dot headline, dot foreground color, white, dot padding, dot frame, max width, infinity, dot background, is selected. If it's selected, the backgrounds will be green for the background color, else it will be patient color. Dot corner radius 10. Add a bit of shadow to the bottom with a radius of 5. And now we need to add the accessibility label and hints and the value. But the first thing we need to do is just add a bit of padding. Dot accessibility label selection button dot accessibility hint is selected. Deselect the current option. Select this option. Dot accessibility value should be value. Is selected. Option selected. Option not selected. And then the next thing we need to do is add the instruction text. This is the text that is first read out on the screen. Please follow the on-screen instructions. Dot font, body, foreground color, dot secondary, line limit is nil. Purpose of setting line limit to nil is to allow many lines as needed dynamically. Dot fix size horizontal false, vertical true. Reason of adding lines 137 is to ensure it is wrapped correctly. Dot padding, dot vertical 10. Dot accessibility label instructions. Dot accessibility hint. This text provides instructions on how to use the app. Dot on a pair if is audio. Enabled in speak text. Please follow the on-screen instructions. Add a spacer. Add in the background will be color dot system background. The purpose of lines 149 is so that the background color adapts to light or dark mode. Dot navigation title dot navigation bar title display mode inline. Now let's compile it. See if it works or not, and then we run it. So where's the simulator? It's loaded. There it is.
Please follow the on-screen instructions. Welcome to your accessible app. User type selected, admin. User type selected, guest. Username field updated.
See, as you can see, it works. If it helped you, please comment, like, and subscribe. Thank you for joining us. If you found this tutorial helpful, please comment, like, and subscribe. See you next week.